Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Right Bench Podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm James.
This will be NBA Season 2, Episode 7. We're already 7 episodes in Episode 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. Got a lot of playoffs to talk about. First, we got to talk about a couple things, you know.
Yep.
You want to start us off?
With just a couple things to point out
Other
before
than
we get into the playoffs?
Other than the playoffs.
Well, let's get into the elephant in the room. Jokic won his third MVP the other night. That it's very interesting, right? There's a bunch of debate over this because Luka probably deserved it. Shea probably deserved it. They all had great seasons, but Jokic all around probably had the best season. He had one of the best. He probably had the best team in the West all year. Like, if we're being real, the Nuggets were probably the best team. But it's interesting to see Jokic in the category now being talked with Moses Malone and LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Like, he's now in this realm because when you get to 3+ MVPs, you're in prestige type area.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think Luka deserved it. Luka had a better season.
Mm.
I mean, he averaged like 33 and 9 and 10. So but Jokic was great, obviously.
Yeah,
he deserved it. There's 4 guys that deserved it. Jokic averaging, 26, 12, and 9
in the playoffs.
No, in the season. 26,
Oh,
12, and 9.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah, he obviously deserved it. One of the best seasons ever by anybody. It's just, I think Luka Doncic should have had it because
Luka averages what, 34?
34, 10, and 9. 34, 10, and 9. And he doesn't get the MVP. And say he's in the play-in, fine with it. But he wasn't in the play-in. So at some point, you gotta, I don't know. I don't know how so many people voted for Jokic. It shouldn't have been at least it should have been close.
Yeah, I agree.
And Shaq says that Shea should have won it, which is
Shaq did shit, and he said it to Jokic's face. Also, Luka.
But that's respect. That's respect.
It is, and they have Shaq and Jokic have a ton of respect for each other, so it's cool to see some of those things. But Luka actually posted on his Instagram story, said, black screen said highway robbery, and that's all he said on his story.
Yeah, I mean, he knew he wasn't going to win though. It was minus 50,000 that Jokic was going to win.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can go to some other awards. Let's talk about all the awards because they're all out.
Rudy Gobert wins his 4th Defensive Player of the Year. 4th. He is now in categories of Hakeem Olajuwon, Dikembe Mutombo. He's going to go down as probably a top 5 defensive center of all time. Maybe the best.
Yeah.
But much deserved. He was the obvious pick. Probably the most obvious pick out of all these awards.
Yeah, well, I thought the pretty obvious pick would have been Malik Monk.
Yeah.
But we'll take it. Nasri went to LSU, so we love him.
We do love Nasri.
6th man of the year. He's making his presence felt in the playoffs, too, right now.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other ones? What are the other ones? Coach of the year was Dagan Hall. No surprise there. He was the best coach. Who else? I mean, also, Eric Spoelstra's better, but you can't give it to him everything.
Clutch Player of the Year went to Curry.
Okay,
We talked about that.
I feel like we're missing one.
I don't...
Rookie of the year is Wemby. So,
Oh, yeah. No need to talk about that. He received 99 or 100 of the first place votes. He was the 3rd unanimous Rookie of the Year award winner of all time, something like that.
Yeah.
Much deserved. Wemby was 1,000% the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Chet, shout out to him. He wins Rookie of the Year 99% of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Shout out Chet.
But he wasn't really a rookie though, so I feel like he had to get it to Wemby. You know what I'm saying?
All right. One more thing before we start the playoffs is Frank Vogel is out as the Suns coach.
Yes.
Not really surprised. But what I want to say, I'm sorry if this insults you.
I probably have the same opinion.
Is that the Suns coaching job is looking more and more like the Lakers coaching job, just a death sentence. A death sentence. Kevin Durant whines about everything. You can't win in the playoffs, and it's not the coach at this point. It's the players.
Yeah. I would say you're in a better situation than LA, probably.
But yeah, you've had less coaches come through.
And the players, I would say you've got more.
You also had no picks, so that's also.
But also think about you've got Devin Booker, who's more of a younger. You don't have to deal with LeBron and Anthony Davis, which are 2 big egos, right? And they're older. That's 2 things. So I think that the Suns are getting close to that, and I think they're definitely very close to the same level. Right now, the head guy for the job is Mike Budenholzer to come back and be a coach. Which I think is a great... that's who I wanted them to hire last offseason. I wanted Nick Nurse, Coach Bud, and then Frank Vogel was probably my 3rd pick. I thought Vogel was actually going to do a really good job, and he really wasn't that bad. It's a scapegoat. I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah, it's just like Darvin Ham.
It's a way out for the Suns to say they did something in the offseason. I'm a Suns fan. This is coming from a Suns fan. It's
the only thing you can do.
It's a way for them to say, we did something this offseason. We tried to fix it when you're just kind of stuck in a hole and you can't really put it all on the coach. Now, some of it is on the coach, but not all of it.
The other thing you can do if you're the Suns is sign Patrick Beverley to a veteran minimum.
Yeah,
but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, he did get suspended and stuff.
It would be interesting, though, to see Coach Bud coaching Devin Booker, obviously after beating him in the championship a couple years ago. But, yeah, that'd be an interesting story.
Yeah, it was a premature fire by the Bucks, so I think...
Yeah, sure.
I think this would be a huge pickup for the Suns.
Yeah, Budenholzer
He's great.
Should have stayed. He's an amazing coach.
All right, let's get into the playoffs. Unless you have anything else.
No.
All right, let's start off with the West. The 2-seed Minnesota Timberwolves are up on the 3-seed Denver Nuggets. 2-seed Denver Nuggets, 2-0. Anthony Edwards we've already mentioned this, he's him. He is 43 in game 1, 27 in game 2. And I think this is a perfect matchup for the Timberwolves, right? I think this is Nuggets are the only team, the Timberwolves are the only team that could really beat the Nuggets in this playoff run, in my opinion. Because you have the Rudy Gobert, you have another semi-defensive center in Cat, who's been very good.
Who has killed it defensively.
Yeah, with Gobert out.
Playoffs.
For sure. You have Jaden McDaniels to guard Jamal Murray. You have Anthony Edwards, who's a great defender, to guard MPJ, I guess. Like, that's just lockdown. And so, the defense of the Timberwolves is just perfect for this Nuggets team.
It really is, and that's what I said, the presence for the Timberwolves. And it's not just that they're amazing defensively, which they are, but the presence of them being there, and this is obviously better when Gobert is there. When you have a Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year in the paint, teams don't want to go in the paint, and they get scared. Even if Gobert's not going to even try to block them, it's a scared factor, and the presence for the Timberwolves is special. They only allowed 80 points in that game, too, against the Nuggets. I mean, that is insanely hard to do against the Denver Nuggets. One of the best offenses in the league. Just amazing. Timberwolves, I think they could genuinely sweep this series. 1,000%.
Is Gobert coming back? Yeah, he's coming back for the game 3.
Yep. He should be back.
So, yeah, I want to say Jokic has been shooting a crazy amount of threes. Like you said, he don't want to be in the paint. And then with Rudy in that first game and the second game, Jokic was good. But with Rudy in the first game, Jokic was terrible. He got dominated. And same thing with Jamal Murray has been being dominated by Jaden McDaniels.
Yep,
they had Jamal Murray, but they had Jaden McDaniels. So,
it's the same thing that happened with Booker in the last series. I mean, just Jaden McDaniels is one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, and he's showing it right here in this playoffs.
One more thing I have is that Naz Reid's presence is being felt, like I said. 15 points per game. That's huge. Huge. I mean, like, they haven't won by 15.
Defensively...
Well, they have. Whatever.
And one thing defensively, he's able to switch on a pick and roll and guard a guard. That sounds weird saying, but he can guard a guard. Like, he can go guard Jamal Murray on the outside. He's not scared of that. He's quick. He's mobile for a 7-footer. And speaking of Jamal Murray, this is the moment of truth right here. Game 3 is going to be a test. He didn't hit anyone with a heating pad, but he also didn't hit any shots. So, if we want to also talk about, he got an $100K fine for throwing that heating pad. No suspension, which is good for the Nuggets. But he shot 3 for 18, I believe, in this game. Had 8 points. Horrible shooting night for Jamal Murray. And you could definitely see it on the bench. But this Game 3 is going to be a moment of truth for him. Yeah,
like back to Naz Reid, he allows you to have 2 bigs on the floor at all times. Which is huge against Jokic, right? Another reason it's a perfect matchup. So that's all I got on this.
And Jokic has the hardest challenge he's ever seen in the playoffs. Yep. Genuinely, this is the hardest team he's ever faced. Defensively. They make him shoot the little floater, they make him shoot the little pull-up jump shot. But he needs to be more aggressive. I understand that this team is good defensively, but you're also the MVP we're talking about right here. You need to be more aggressive, and he needs to stop thinking about his horses and hay back in Serbia.
Yeah, I mean, he can't keep shooting threes. He's not good at it. Next series. 1 seed OKC, 5 seed Dallas. We're tied at 1. Don't know how we're tied at 1, but we are. Mavericks snuck out of the last one with a win. In Game 2, OKC dominated Game 1. Luka's knee injury is obviously the big thing.
Yep.
He's going to be questionable for Game 3. He will probably play, I'm sure.
He should play. Yeah.
And this is going to be a thing that's going to linger with him the entire postseason until the offseason. So that's something to think about. It really hinders their chances. But he's struggling. He's not at his best. 24 points per game. Includes a really bad game in Game 1 and a really good bounce-back game.
Yeah, he did have a great bounce-back game in Game 2. He had 29, 10, and 7. But this was the P.J. Washington game, and the Mavericks were able to take it. When a role player steps up and gives you a big game, you have to take advantage of that, and you have to win that game. So this was the P.J. Washington game. He had 29 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Great stat line for him. But the Mavericks, honestly, defensively, they've impressed me. That's what's been impressive for me.
Yeah.
They gave up 110 points in this game, which is still not great, but OKC is an amazing offense. But they're able to get possessions to wind out very fast and slow at the same time. So if OKC wants to go fast, they're able to slow you down. If they want to go slow, the Mavericks are able to speed you up. That's one thing that you have to do in the playoffs, and I've been very impressed with what the Mavericks have done.
Yeah, P.J. Washington and Tim Hardaway Jr. in the second game. They combined for 46 points in Game 2. They're the only reason they won. In this Game 2, Luka and Kyrie combined for 38. Kyrie had 9. What I'm saying is that you should not have won this game. You snuck out of there with a win. You have to capitalize.
Yeah, in teams like this who lose these games are held with a lot of regret, because when you lose that type of game after a role player like that has a star showing, you know they're probably not going to do that again in this series. You have to win that game, and the Mavericks did it. Very impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Lou Dort has been everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Whose guard is Shea guarding Kyrie?
They've kind of Lou Dort's actually guarded Kyrie a little bit.
That's
more.
why he's got 9 points. That's why he's averaging 14 and a half.
Yeah.
Lou Dort's an amazing defender no matter who he's on, no matter where he's at. And then also you got J-Dub, an elite defender.
Yep.
Shea's an all-NBA caliber guy, all-defense caliber guy.
They've thrown a lot of different bodies at Luka in this series. They've thrown Shea at him. They've thrown Casey Wallace a lot at him. And they've thrown Aaron Wiggins at him a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, the youngness, the maturity, the defense from this OKC team is the reason they could go a long way.
But one thing that's not going to help him go a long way, Josh Giddey. He played 11 minutes in this game. He was benched the entire second half. Aaron Wiggins took his starting job going into the second half. He's insanely easy to defend because he can't shoot. He can't. I think he's shooting maybe sub 23% this year from 3. He had 0 assists, which is what you're supposed to be, the guy who distributes the ball. And when you can't even do that, there's a point to bench him. This was a great call by Coach, in my opinion. And I don't think he'll start in Game 3.
All right. Okay, this is not just Josh Giddey, though. This is Daniel Gafford being thrown at Josh Giddey because he can't shoot.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so if you put a guy that can shoot out there like Isaiah Joe or like Aaron Wiggins, now you can make Daniel Gafford guard Chet and let Chet space the floor. So it's also like a strategic move. Obviously, Giddey not good, not helping his case. But it's not just Giddey. Like I think I would have done that same thing if Giddey was on fire.
Yeah.
Because it allows Chet to space things out and obviously go against a less mobile center.
Which another guy who needs to be a little bit better, in my opinion, in this series is Chet. He hasn't been great. But the Mavericks have thrown a lot of bodies at him, a lot of bigger bodies, which is one thing that we knew Chet was going to struggle with. But he's still able to shoot the 3 and able to space the floor. So he needs to score a little bit more. I think
it's what you
OKC
give up.
Wants to win the series.
It's what they give up to have the spacing. And I like the
I like it for sure.
A couple more things. Shea is averaging 31 in this series. J-Dub 19. If the Mavericks want to win, they have to stop one of them.
Oh yeah,
gotta stop one of them.
And it's stopping Shea.
They're a machine. Like you can either limit Shea or stop J-Dub. I don't care what you do. They're a well-oiled machine that will just not miss from mid-range. So they did against the Pelicans is what they're gonna do against you. And see, I don't know why so many people are picking the Mavericks in this series when it's so clear that OKC is a better team, in my opinion.
I do personally believe that the Mavericks will win this series in 6. I think OKC is going to take another game, but I think this Mavericks team, star power-wise and defensively, I think overtakes OKC in this series. Even though OKC has been great defensively, especially in these playoffs, I think the bigger guys that they have down low with Lively and Gafford are going to be the factor that just OKC is not going to be able to keep up in the pick-and-roll game.
But I don't see this because
I saw it in Game 2.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I don't see them winning because Luka on a knee injury, not 100%. Kyrie getting locked up by Lou Dort, 10 points per game.
Yeah,
and you have you'll get some stuff in the paint. If Luka can drop 30, and the paint guys can drop 30, P.J. Washington ain't dropping 30 again.
No,
Tim Hardaway might have one more good game. Kyrie Irving ain't doing nothing. So what happens? What do you do against the elite defensive team that is the?
I think Kyrie's gonna have a game in Game 3. I think he's gonna show why he's still the second best player on this team. And I think the Mavericks are gonna take this one in 6. And I've said all year, I think Chet's too small. And I think OKC's they're just too small, right? Which is something in the playoffs that's very important. You have to be big. You have to have depth, which OKC does, but it's not big depth, right? The biggest guy you have coming off your bench right now, I believe,
Jalen Williams.
Is it Jalen Williams?
Yes, he's a center.
Gotcha. But he's like 6'9" center. He's not like you know what I'm saying? So he's not like a bigger guy off your bench. So I think that's one thing that OKC is going to struggle with.
Yeah, I mean, the X factor for me, like we've been saying, center play, rebounding. If Chet rebounds, no one beats OKC.
Yep.
They win the championship, quite literally, if Chet rebounds. But in Dallas, for them to win this series, in my opinion, they have to dominate. They can't just win the paint battle. They have to dominate it.
Yeah.
So that's what you think they're going to do?
I do think they're going to do that.
Let's go to the East. Boston and Cleveland are knotted up at 1. Mitchell averaging 31. Donovan Mitchell, 31 points per game. Evan Mobley is 19. What I have on him is he needs to step up even more than he has already. Because Porzingis is out and Jared Allen is out. I think if Jared Allen's in this series, I may pick the Cavaliers because of Porzingis being out. But so that opens up the interior for Mobley. Obviously, you have to dominate the interior and score some points in there too.
Yeah, so Celtics dominated Game 1 with an all-around effort from everyone. Derek White, Jalen Brown had a great game. But Game 2 was very similar to me to the Game 2 loss with Miami in the first round. Miami couldn't miss in that second game, and the Cavs were not missing last night. Donovan Mitchell hit this amazing shot to go into the fourth quarter that gave him momentum, and the Cavs were rolling the entire game. I'm not worried about Boston, though. I think they win this series in 5 still. Unless Mobley, I was just about to say, unless Mobley switches it into another gear. Because I haven't seen it in 3 years offensively. Defensively, he's one of the best guys in the league at it. Offensively, he has not been great in these last 3 years. And I need to see him just switch into another gear. And then I think the Cavs can take it.
He's averaging 19 right now. That's the only reason they're having a game. Do you know when Jared Allen could come back? Is it not this series?
I genuinely don't know. It's a weird injury. It's so weird to me because they said in the regular season that he could probably play the next night. But I don't know why they're trying to keep him safe. I think he'll play in this series if they can get it to like a Game 4, which there will be a Game 4.
Obviously.
I think a Game 4 or Game 5, Jared Allen could be back, but I don't know. I think the Cavaliers shouldn't want him back as much. I think they should roll with this.
I mean, before I get to that whole thing, the Cleveland defense has been amazing.
Oh yeah.
They're keeping the Jays in check, right? Neither game has Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum had 20. You've kept one of them under 20 in both games.
Yep.
It's like incredible. Like those are your 2 best players, and the only reason I think the Celtics are even in the series right now is Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
14.5 points per game off the bench. It's so big when your stars are struggling. It's what Tim Hardaway Jr. did in that last game for the Dallas Mavericks. So that's huge.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Jason Tatum had 18 points in Game 1. He had 25 in Game 2, which is definitely a step up. But I need to see more from him. You're the best player in this series, legitimately. You're the best player in the series, right? You're an MVP candidate this year. I believe he was 6th in MVP voting. Jason Tatum has to turn it on. He has to switch it into another gear. I was just saying that with Evan Mobley. But Jason Tatum, he's averaging, 22.5 points this series. He's probably averaging 20 in the playoffs this year. Not a great look for him. He has never been that good in the playoffs. And it's interesting because at some point, the Celtics are going to run out of gas with those role players, and Tatum's going to have to step up.
Yeah, that's why I doubt them. Because
I do. Yep, I agree.
They're not playing good basketball right now. Period. They're not. And without Porzingis, without the paint presence of Porzingis, now your center's Al Horford.
And the spacing.
And like the spacing, like the size. And with Cleveland's defense at its best and your offense at its worst, I see a huge chance Cleveland runs away with this series, especially if Jared Allen comes back. Then they'll be double dominant in the paint.
That's what I think the Cavs... I'm about to say, the Cavs need to get Jared Allen back because the Cavs need to play bully ball, right?
Yeah,
because the Celtics team is now going to try to just speed it up and run kind of a smaller lineup, which they have with Derek White, Tatum, Brown, Horford. Like, that's a small lineup, but they're pretty good at it. They ran it when they went to the finals 2 years ago. That was their lineup that they ran, which it worked. But it can't work when you've got a double big with Mobley and Allen in the paint. So it'll be interesting to see if Jared Allen can get back in the series.
If Jared Allen can come back, perfect matchup for the Cavs.
Yep.
Dream matchup.
I still think the Celtics take it.
In the end, I think the Celtics take it. But if the Cleveland can get to a 2-2 series and Jared Allen comes back, I pick the Cavaliers.
Yeah, maybe.
Immediately. So this series ultimately will be decided by defense. Is the last thing I have.
Yep, I agree.
Both teams have been really good defensively, and Cavs have been all right offensively, and the Celtics have been bad to their standards. So whoever can have a better defense, have more defensive presence, will win this series.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get into my favorite series, which the Knicks, the number 2 seeded Knicks, are up 2-0 on the 6 seeded Pacers. Both of these games have been incredibly close. They have been great games. My 2 favorite games of the second round. And let's be real here. We now know that Jalen Brunson can be the best player on a championship team. Like, that's crazy to think about. People were doubting this dude when they gave him a bag in free agency. Can you imagine if he was playing this to Luka Doncic?
Pooh! Crazy.
But
then you think, would he take over as much?
He probably wouldn't. So I think New York is such a cool place for him. And we want to get into him a little bit. He had 43 in game 1. 43 points. 43. And then he had 29 in game 2. Just 2 great performances. He hit clutch shots when he needed to. His fourth quarters were great. I am very impressed with what I'm seeing from Jalen Brunson, and I think he's genuinely been the best player of the entire playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 29 in game 2 is with sitting out with that foot injury for a couple minutes.
Yes, which is crazy.
So, I mean, is he all the way good for the
Yeah,
foot
he's
injury?
good. He's
all right,
fine.
so, I mean, he'll be back.
He just twisted it.
He's the guy, right? I don't see a reason that the Knicks can't go to the finals.
Oh, 1,000%.
I don't see a reason. I picked it before it. I said earlier in the season that they would be in the finals, but then I said when Julius Randle was out, probably not.
They've genuinely played better when he's out.
Jalen Brunson is not the only reason, but I do think that they can go to the finals with a skidding Celtics team.
Yep.
I mean, their supporting cast is just so good, too. DiVincenzo, 26.5 points per game for Dante DiVincenzo. OG Anunoby, 21.5 points per game, although he is out in game 3 with a hamstring injury. And Josh Hart, 21.5 points per game. That's incredible.
Exactly. I agree. So those 3 players contributing with Brunson is amazing. But who do you have after that? That's been the problem for me.
Yeah.
Hartenstein has been great. Rebounding-wise, defensively, he's been great. But you don't have Mitchell Robinson for probably the rest of the playoffs. Randall's not coming back for the rest of the playoffs. Bogdanovich is gone. You're going to have to lean on...
OG's out.
What?
OG's out for game 3, too.
And OG's out for game 3. You've got a ton of injuries right now. Pacers, first of all, need to capitalize on OG not being there.
They have to win game 3.
They have to win game 3.
I think they will.
Especially it being back in Indiana. I
should.
Agree. I think they will. But, this is a great example. Josh Hart has sat 12 minutes all playoffs. The entire playoffs, he's sat 12 minutes. In the last 4 games, he's played the entire game.
That's crazy.
That's crazy to think about. But that's kind of what they have to do now. And Josh Hart has the motor to do it. But I just don't know if the Knicks have enough steam to win a championship. I don't know if they can even get to the finals. I really want to see them there.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. But I'm scared that they're a little too top-heavy right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they have to go against the Celtics or even the Cavaliers,
just depth-wise,
it's tough. It's tough with the depth, right? And you're going to run out of gas. I don't see them winning the finals, but I think getting there could happen. Yeah. You're going to have a role player step up, though, off the bench.
Yeah.
All right, now to the Pacers. A lot of struggles. Siakam is averaging 16.5. That's struggling on his standards.
It is.
Especially since he was great in the first round. Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton each had a 6-point game.
Yeah.
I mean, Halliburton did have 34. Halliburton did have 34 in the second. So, I mean, but still, a 6-point game for either of those guys is terrible. Mm-hmm. But Halliburton, for a second, we can talk about this.
Yeah, I'm about
to talk about it. It's his slump over, finally, at 34 in game 2.
I think it is.
I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I have no opinion.
So, the Pacers wasted Halliburton's best game that they're going to get in the entire series. I think this is the best scoring that they're going to get this entire series. He dropped 34. I believe he had 6 rebounds and 9 assists. That's the best game that you're probably going to get out of Tyrese in this series, and they wasted it. They lost it.
That's the worst game you're going to get out of Miles Turner.
So, exactly. But you're also probably not going to get a Miles Turner game where he drops 40. It's not going to happen.
He had a great game in game 1.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, you're not going to get... There's not going to be a guy, probably, that goes and drops 40 besides Siakam the rest of the series. So that's what the Pacers have to be on the lookout for. Your depth has to come into play, especially against this beaten-down Knicks team. And I think the Pacers can steal Game 3, and I think they can even steal Game 4, but they got to play at their pace, too. Don't let the Knicks slow you down, because the Pacers have been the fastest team in basketball all year.
You wear down those guys.
And I have not seen it in these first 2 games. Man, and the calls haven't been great either. For most of the calls have gone New York's way. Rick Carlisle complained about it after game 2.
Got fine.
We don't need to get into that. But also, you're playing in Madison Square Garden. You gotta understand that. They'll go back to the field house and see if they can take game 3.
Yeah. Halliburton's slump has to be over to win this series. You have to switch the vibes. You have to go out and you have to win. And you have to win dominantly in these next 2 games. Control the pace, control everything. Last thing I have is Obi Toppin. He's averaging 16. He's been great in the playoffs and this round especially. He's the only reason these have been close games. He's going to be the only reason they win this series if they do.
Yeah, I agree. And the Pacers, like we were saying, I just want to reiterate this, they're going to have to cycle through all their players, right? Everyone off the bench is going to have to play, and they're going to have to play well. That's what's going to beat this Knicks team.
All right. We'll see what happens. See y'all next week. Pick it up next week. Let's get to Give Me 5.
Let's get it.
The score is 48-36, James.
Ooh.
They're going to 70, so it's not over, but it's getting close.
It's not. And I gave him a tough one last week, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I got a tough one for you this week.
But he's got a tough one. I've got an easier one for him.
Trust me, we'll be even after this week. Trust me. All right.
So, let's see what happens.
I'll start you off first.
You can go perfect this week.
It's kind of easier for you to see mine, so I'll go first.
Okay.
5 players, MLB players, with the most saves last year. I'm telling you, I can get this.
I don't know if I can name you one closer in the MLB.
Yes, you can.
I'm joking.
It's not that bad.
Who led it in saves? Because I remember when we were doing our MLB predictions. Who did I pick for saves? That's what I'm really wondering. There was a guy from the Orioles I remember seeing that was pretty high up. I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah. I know who.
Creamer?
Bautista?
Bautista, that's who it was. Yeah. Bautista, I don't think he's on
He
was injured last year.
Yeah, you got it. I'm not going to let you look at the teams, though, because that would be like...
I can't look at teams, please?
That'd be too easy, because you can just go through and name the closer for every team.
I don't know if I can name a closer right now. I genuinely don't know if I can name a closer. Let me think through it, and then we can maybe go to that later.
Okay. Yeah, you can think through it.
Cubs, right? No.
A lot of these guys, you'll see the team and know.
Cardinals, nah. Astros, nah.
They had Presley.
Nah.
Games.
Phillies, nah.
No.
Maybe, nah.
No, not really. They closed with multiple guys.
Oakland, nah.
No, they didn't win enough games.
Washington, nah.
Oakland might have won
Atlanta, probably, but I can't name you one pitcher other than Strider on that
Atlanta,
roster.
Atlanta, no.
Saves. Who's in a lot of just close games last year? That's a good way to maybe do it. I genuinely don't know if I can. Oh, Red Sox were in a ton of close games last year. I can't name you a closer on the Red Sox. Just sad.
I'll give you the team. I'll give you the team of one of them.
Can you give me the team of the number 1 guy?
Number 1 guy, Guardians.
You know this. I almost said Pablo Sandoval.
You know this.
Is that even a real person?
Is
that even a real person?
Yeah,
Pablo Sandoval?
I think he was like an all-timer. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You can look at teams. If you know any closer, you should know this closer.
Cleveland Guardians.
The Cleveland Guardians.
Pablo. No.
It's not Pablo. You can give me the last name. You don't have to give me first name.
Guardians. Couldn't tell you. Okay. I genuinely don't know if I could tell you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to name a closer. That's the main. Oh. You know, dude from Diamondbacks. What's his name?
No, they didn't have a good closer.
Yeah, they did. It was a dude that got traded from the Mariners mid-season.
I don't know who you're talking about.
What was his name? Dude, what was his name?
He's not on the list. I don't know.
Bro, what was his name, though? Can you look him up? What was his name? It was
Diamondbacks?
Yes,
it was... still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Griswold? No. That sounds stupid.
I think I remember him. They having a good closer. Hold on.
Yeah, what was his name?
He's not on the list, so keep going.
I know, but what was his name?
I'm looking.
What was his name?
I'm looking. Paul Sewald.
Paul Sewald. That's what it is. That's the dude from the Mariners. Yeah, Paul Sewald. Let's put him at 5.
Okay.
Even though I know he's not on there, but I think he's on the closer I can name. Go back to the teams real quick, please. It's okay. Nationals, no. Phillies, no. Mets, no. Marlins, no. Braves, no. Blue Jays, no. Rays, maybe. Yankees, probably, but
I'll give you the team of all 5 of them. You still won't get it.
Okay, cool.
Number 1, Guardians. Number 2, Pirates. Number 3, Giants. Number 4, Cardinals. Number 5, Brewers.
Logan Webb.
Okay, you want to put him?
He was a starter, wasn't he?
He started on opening day.
What was the last 2 teams?
Cardinals and Brewers. Surprised you can't name one. You're going to be mad at yourself when you hear these names.
Yeah, I probably will.
You know these guys.
I probably do. I probably don't equate them to closers. I probably just equate them like pitchers. So maybe I need to think of just like pitchers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Kevin Gausman.
Okay. You want to put
it? Put it. Oh wait, you didn't say Blue Jays.
He also is a starter.
Oh my god. Oh my god! I even know this guy on the Rangers, but he wasn't up there. Jose Leclerc. I remember him. Yeah. He was amazing in the playoffs last year. Just put him on there because I'm glad I named him.
I'm sorry. I thought you would get like at least one.
What's the dude's name from the Guardians? I should know him.
You should.
I know him probably.
You should know the dude from the Brewers too.
It's not Christian.
He's got a screwball.
Oh, the dude in WBC, Devin Williams.
Where you want to put him?
2. Right? And then you said Brewers was?
I'm not going to repeat him.
Devin Williams. I do remember that guy, actually.
Okay.
Oh! Hater.
Okay. Where do you want to put
him? Is Hater not there?
I'm not going to tell you if he's there.
Put him at 3.
Okay, who you want to put number 1?
It's the dude from the Guardians.
It is the dude from the Guardians.
Oh no, I was thinking Sandoval. I was thinking of that Angels pitcher.
Oh, Patrick Sandoval.
Yeah, they're not Pablo Sandoval.
He's also a starter.
Yeah, I know, but
you want to just put somebody random?
No, I don't want to put someone random.
You got like a minute.
I know him, bro.
You got a minute.
Trust me, I know him. Can you tell me what his best pitch is?
Cutter.
No chance.
He's got cutter, fastball, slider, and it will be the show. I got him on my team.
Wait, you were talking about this. You talked to me about this.
Okay.
No clue.
Answer.
Kevin Gausman.
Alright, Kevin Gausman's a starter. Okay. Number 1. At 44 saves is Emmanuel Clase.
I do know who that is.
You know you heard of him.
I do know who that is.
Yeah. Number 2 was David Bednar of the Pirates.
I thought Devin Williams was 2.
Devin Williams was number 5, so that's 1.
I got 1 point.
Number 3 was Camilo Doval. Didn't really expect you to have that one.
Oh my god, I do know him. He was in World Baseball Classic.
You said Josh Hader. You said Josh Hader.
Wait, he was on it?
No, you said Josh Hader.
I should have gotten that.
For number 4, you said Jose Leclerc. It was Alexis Diaz. You weren't gonna get that.
I know who that is.
He was on the Reds. Yeah. I didn't. I wouldn't have gotten that. I did not think he was that.
Didn't he spell his name with like an X?
Alexis Diaz. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Alex, and then it's like EIS. Yeah.
No, it's just ALEXIS.
Okay, never mind.
Alexis.
That is.
You said Paul Sewald. It was Devin Williams at number 5. So.
Dang, I should have got Duval.
You should have got if I would have done it, I probably would have gotten. With the teams, I would have got 4.
Duval.
I probably would have gotten 3. All right, let's go. You hit me with yours real quick.
All right.
Get out of here.
Real quick, I'm just gonna change this over because I don't want you seeing anything.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
Wait, no, don't go to NBA playoff bracket. Stay on go to NHL. Go to NHL.
Okay,
so you don't know anything. Go to NHL.
MLB's the same far away from.
Maybe it's on MLB.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just joking. Leaders in points per game this postseason.
This postseason?
Yep.
Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Shea. Okay, can you tell me if there's any
I'm not telling you anything.
First round guys?
I'm not telling you anything. It's the postseason.
Put Jalen Brunson at number 1. Put Shea at number 4. Okay? I mean, we're gonna get through this quick. Who was the first round that was really good? So, I'll go through the first round of losers. Why am I blanking? Let me just look at my page. See who they beat. Denver beats the Lakers. It's not going to be anyone there. Timberwolves beat the Suns. Booker could be on there. Kevin Durant's not. OKC beat the Pelicans. Dallas beat the Clippers. No. It could be Dan, I guess. Probably not. Knicks beat 7 seed. Oh, Embiid could be there. For sure. No one from the Celtics. It's no one. Probably Mitchell could be there. This is a lot of guys. I'll put Luka at 3.
I'll tell you this: you're not going to get the guy at 5.
Oh, well, that just helps me.
You're just not.
That just helps me then.
Okay, you're just not going to think of him.
Okay. Probably first round guy then. Oh, it could be like DiVincenzo or something.
Could be.
Or like me. Let's see. Anthony Edwards could be there. I'll put Ant at 5. No, he's not at 5. But I'll put Ant at 5. I feel like he could be at 4. And I'll put Embiid at 2. That's good. I think I did fine.
You had a good list.
I did?
Yeah.
Alright, good.
You got...
There's just so many places you could go.
You got 3 guys on the board.
Okay, good.
You got Brunson at 1.
That's right.
You got that. Yeah,
okay,
that's 3. You got Embiid at 2. That's another 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
You missed on Ant Edwards at 3. You said Luka.
Ant Edwards was 3?
Luka's not on this list. Yeah, Ant Edwards was at 3, but you do get a point because of it.
Yeah, I do get a point. So that's it.
Dame was at 4. You mentioned he
Yeah, I
averaged
did.
31.3 in this postseason.
Damn.
You said Shea. Shea was not on the list.
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey was at 5. He averaged 29.8 in the postseason. You said Ant, but you got to put
Okay,
for
so I'll take. Hey, I'm back in it. I'll take 8 on that one. So that'll be up.
No. It would be.
Oh yeah, 3, 3, 2.
7.
3, 3, 2.
Oh, you get 2.
Oh yeah, I do for the within 1
You weren't within 1.
on Ant.
No, you put Ant at 5.
Did I
You
really?
said you wanted to put him at 4, but you put him at 5.
Oh my bad.
You said you'd rather Shea, so you had 7. Still a great round from you.
Yeah.
So you get 7, I get 1.
43. Yes.
Hey, I still got the glasses.
You're up 6. You're up 6. We're back in it.
Still got the glasses.
We're back in it. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for listening to this episode. Glad y'all could join us. You know, we're having a lot of fun here. Coming down the closing stretch of season 2. But you know, we're having a lot of fun. Yeah. What you got?
Not much. Yeah.